I just thought I'd make a very quick live stream just to say that the title again. Yeah, the call handler was based in South Africa, removal company, and nice call handler. Very compassionate, even though he couldn't understand what I was actually. I only told him about what happened at the last property. And he said the Most High is looking on you, and you'll get through this, and you'll come out stronger, and all of that. You know, he didn't give the name of the Most High. He just said, as in the Creator, the one that you pray to. And I said, yes, absolutely. I said, praying. I didn't tell him everything about what I'm facing and everything that I'm going through and all my pain. I just said what happened at the last property, because I need the removal man or men to be extra vigilant, because there are still people. There are people. I mean, I said to the call handler changed, you see, because the phone kept cutting out and everything. It's a poor reception. But I said, if you go on How Safe Is My Street, 40 incidents in 1 month. And he was like, what? I think that was the first call handler. And this is South Africa we're talking about. I mean, if you know anything about I told the last call handler, the one that I'm talking about, the kind, compassionate call handler, he kept calling me darling. You know that I said to him, I've been to South Africa. I said I've been to Cape Town. My biological grandparents lived in Cape Town. No, they lived in George, which I think is but Johannesburg is a dangerous place to go to. South Africa in general is dangerous. There was an Irishman telling me and Darren that in South Africa they'll cut your fingers off to get your ring. So, I mean, even my biological grandfather said to my mother, before I'd even met him, what's she doing going off for a walk, talking about me, going off for a walk? You just don't do that. It's not like going for a country walk in the UK. You just don't do that. There are wild animals and stuff. Well, in that part of South Africa, the elephants, we had to go to an elephant park. So they're protected now. But to be honest, I was just scared that I wasn't going to find my way out of this bushy area. But and the flying bugs and things. I mean, there was a gazelle that scared me, or some sort of an antelope thing. But no, I think I do take chances. But do you know something? I mean, me and my middle sister put our lives on the line stroking a cheetah. Because I mean, one of the ant people, I'm going off on a tangent here, but one of the people at the that used to like the ant conventions and stuff, I think they got killed by a cheetah. And that was after we went to a place where you can, if you step on its tail, you've hit it. And that's one of the scariest things I've ever done, was to stroke a cheetah and ride an ostrich. And we were going to go down in a cage, like in Jaws, and see a great white shark, but we didn't because the waves were choppy. Now, that combined with South Africa being a dangerous country, I don't know if it's, if it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. I've sort of kind of trying to be careful with my words here. But we went to Robben Island and we met Nelson Mandela's jailer, who worked in a shop, a gift shop. And, but, I'm just scared of strange things like flying bugs and stuff, and maybugs, buzzing things and stuff. But for me, the most terrifying experience is not to stroke a cheetah, not the possibility of going down. Well, we didn't, but if we had gone down in a cage to see a great white shark, that wouldn't have been the most scariest thing. Not even riding an ostrich. No. Being attacked by some nutcase who thinks that who makes you think they're going to kill them, that they're going to kill you, in one of these council accommodations in the UK, and then police and Serco threatening you with prison, because that's the UK justice system right now. But this call handler, I couldn't tell him that. Because obviously he said, "Oh, my manager is looking at me now." I said, "Oh, sorry." I said, "Well, he was so nice." And at one point I said, "Oh, I'm getting emotional." Because I am carrying a lot of pain. And at the end before he ended the call, he confirmed everything, and he said, "I'm going to take something away from this myself." So there you go. I needed to hear that, because even though I'm always praying, someone can strengthen your faith, abuse you, take your faith. But your faith doesn't leave you, because your faith, the thing that's been there from day one, the thing that's kept me alive from day one of my life. I don't think so somehow. It just doesn't go away. It stays. Your faith. You're always going to be praying. You're always going to be praying. It's just, I'm not going to talk about it, but narcissistic mental abuse. When you've had so much of it from day one of your life, even when you know how to handle it. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now, and I will revisit my YouTube channel to keep documenting, and because I'm the one who's doing this on my own. I'm getting through all of it on my own. I'm dealing with all of it on my own, and reaching out to the only person, a member of the public, called Juliet. Because that's how you know. That's how you know when someone cares, when you're crying out for help. When you're actually on the street crying out for help. That's how you know who cares. And everyone else is sitting back going, Who's going to be there for them, though, when they're attacked in their council home, when they're elderly, when they're live streaming being attacked in their own home? Who's going to be there for them? And yet, I've prayed for some of these people that have attacked me. I've prayed for them. I've done the right thing. I've still prayed for them. But those who've done the worst evil in the name of our Heavenly Father, I think he'd be more concerned about the evil deeds you're doing rather than the name of the Heavenly Father. Juliet hasn't once used our Heavenly Father's name, not even the name God, which isn't a name, but she's still done his work. She's still been there. She's still offered to support me, protect me. She's going through cancer treatment, and she herself has been a victim of narcissistic abuse from a man. That's why you see all these lonely loser men. Losers. Okay, you get abusive women, of course you do. But there's no... Juliet is saying to me what my late mother's best friend said. And I don't know if she's okay. She's 2 days ago, she will have turned 87. But my sisters have kept me away from her. But funnily enough, she said there's a lot of them about. And the same thing happened again. I said I'll never be abused again. And it's happened again. Because Iris was right. And so is Juliet right. And how about it that they care about me and they've both got cancer, but they're being kept away from me, or Iris is, by the people who are supposed to love me? What does that tell you? Well, you'll be sad, lonely, pitiful people. Pitiful, absolutely pitiful. But I won't stop praying for you, because you'll end up lonely, old. No one will want to know you. And there's nothing worse, I can tell you, because I've cared for the elderly. There's nothing more pathetic than a lonely, elderly, miserable, nasty person. So, there we are. I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm going to say Shalom Shabbat. It's been imposed on my spiritual conscience to use Yahweh's name. Even if that said individual said to his friend, ex-Sikh, turned crazy evangelistic Christian. Oh, it's you who brought him to the name of Yahweh, and she too has had the same treatment. How about marrying me? How about having me? Is that what he does? Does he go around to people saying, will you marry me? Using them for your own ends? Is that what you do? Well, I'll tell you what Juliet said. If you've had abuse on your Facebook wall, that's nothing to do with me. I'm not responsible for it. I'm just talking about what has happened to me, and that's what I'm documenting. And, what goes around comes around. A taxi driver said to me, karma. Well, call a spade, I said. Call a spade, a spade. Same thing, different words. Same principle, as it were. But, but it's the pain. I'm hiding a lot of pain. But I've had more. It's amazing how being a decent, honest person drives the demons out of people, even who claim to be Christians and using Yahweh's name. The absolute evil that I've had just from being brutally honest, having a public mental breakdown just because I asked for help. And this is what it shows. But anyway, I'm still going to do a follow-up live stream. I've said it before, I've said it a million times, but with about Dan from Police Abusing Powers, and it's on his channel. Him and Tina Jave offering me help, and I'm still going to do that. I've done it before, but I'll do it again. And whatever was said in the private phone call, if she wants to make it public, make it public. Let's expose the narcissists, the covert narcissists as well. So anyway, there we go. I've said what I wanted to say. You know, I don't want to embarrass Juliet, even though no one knows who I'm talking about. I don't want to embarrass her or say anything I shouldn't. But there's a lot to be said for this lady. There's a lot to be said for someone. She's still going through her cancer treatment, and she's offering to support me and come with me to my appointments. Well, I need that. I do need that. I need someone. I need someone who cares. I need a friend. I need someone. I'm not Superwoman, which is why I'm hiding an awful lot of pain. But I wanted to just document to say about this call handler, and may Yahweh, God, the Creator, bless him and bring him peace and shalom Shabbat to him. And bless Taylor. That was his name, Taylor. So there we go. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm reading about terrible things all the time. There are so many things coming out. Gosh, it's just endless, isn't it? I read about someone in an American prison decapitating someone. I think they were fast asleep and out of it, thank goodness. And then I just read about this young woman who she stabbed to death her pregnant friend who was 7.5 months pregnant, and then cut out the fetus. Well, it was like it was a baby, but it was still alive, but it wasn't. So it had a heartbeat. She was only 7.5 months pregnant, and this young woman drove with telling police that she was the one who gave birth to it because she was lying, and now she's on death row. Oh God, there's so many depressing, horrible things out there. But anyway, going off on one, that's all I wanted to say. And yeah, just that one person who, was there something else I wanted to say? No, that's it. Yeah, but isn't it ironic that the most terrifying things have happened in council accommodation, to the point where I thought I'd be killed, and then police and Serco and this demented R. Helmsley screaming at me, "You'll go to prison." An abusive relationship, given a caring role through Care for the Carers, and then arrested for abusing me and using the police to get on side. And you're just using the corruption to your advantage. How pathetic. But, you know, you'll get what's coming to you for doing that. Naturally. What goes around comes around. Call a spade a spade. As that taxi driver, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that taxi driver. It is what it is. So anyway, there we go. So that's it. This has been much longer than it should have been, but I just wanted to, you know, as I said, I did get emotional, a little bit emotional earlier with that call handler. But the people who are supposed to love you, interesting, isn't it? Who's going to be there for them when things are traumatic for them? I've had so much happen to me. Most people wouldn't survive just one of the things I've been through, and it's jealousy. My mother was right. There's a lot of jealousy in this country. I'm supposed to be terrified of a cheetah that could have killed me when I stroked it. I was supposed to be, my grandfather said, what a brave woman, what a brave girl Bryony is. That was just over 20 years ago. He said, you just don't go walking off in the, you know, this isn't the UK. And I could have gone deep sea diving with a great white shark. But for me, the most frightening thing is having my heart broken. And the narcissist knows this, because what he's been doing is he's been looking at my fridge magnets. He's been looking at every little tiny detail, spending so much time listening to me, when in actual fact, he's been studying me. And knowing that every tiny detail about what could break me. And that's the bit that I'm not sharing. Well, I've shared it, some of it, and of course that's the bit when people like to attack. But I am talking to a screen, but if what I need my YouTube channel for my evidence, but if my channel can actually help people, and I know that it will, spiritually, I know that what I'm sending out there, what I'm putting out there is going to help someone else in my position. Should there ever be someone in my position? And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what the hell? I'm just telling it how it is, and I'm getting it out there. Anyway, there we go. 24 minutes now. I've been way too long. It was meant to be about 9 minutes at the most. Right, okay, I'm going to say over and out and Shalom Shabbat, and keep exposing the evil, keep telling the truth. Pray for your hedge of protection. There we go. There's a commotion outside. So this is why I asked the call handler to ask the removal men to be vigilant, because I don't want to have anything to do with anyone. Only those who I invite into my space, let alone my life. Anyway, yeah. Okay, there we go. There's rough people around here, even though this flat is nice. Right, there we go. Over and out.